everyone.
Hello, Mayor.
Hello, Elliot. We have a couple areas we want to focus on here today. Some announcements regarding the recovery and some exciting announcements about our refuse department. I'll start with the announcements related to the recovery. Today, I am announcing a plan for the spending of the remaining $12 million of interest from the RAM settlement funds. These funds will support primarily two areas, private debris, property debris removal, and intermediate housing. We're also going to be funding the recovery office with some additional funds there. But the bulk of the additional $12 million, $5.3 million will go to debris removal. This is in an effort to support the already expended or already allocated $9.4 million in debris removal. This will go for dumpsters, for nonprofit community groups, consulting services for right of entry, site assessments. This will allow city-supported demolition and private property and debris removal. We've been doing some of this work, as you're probably familiar with, but this is a way to really accelerate that work. As you all know, we share in widespread disappointment in the contract that was awarded to Spiritus well over a month ago. That was really supposed to be doing a lot of this work. There's been a lot of frustration on our end and the community end on the failure to fully execute that contract. And this is a way of really accelerating some additional work that is long time coming on the debris removal side of things. Of course, this has been a priority for some time, but we will continue to work on the larger tranche of funds, which we are really leaning into our federal partners, and we'll continue to work on having the Army Corps lead this enormous effort of the demolition and debris removal that we ultimately need to have done to rebuild our community. I will also mention that the city has contracted Looks Great Services to carry out the public right-of-way, street, curb, alley debris removal starting this week. This is a follow-up to that Spiritus work. This work is expected to last and take about 4 to 8 weeks in total, starting this week. Today, we published a debris pickup schedule by neighborhood. This can be found on our recovery website. This is going to cover the first 3 weeks of this effort, and you can expect to see updates as that work is done. And we're continuing to reassess where that work is really needed. Okay. On the refuse side of things, we continue to, as we continue to have a serious focus through the recovery office and through other efforts here, we also are continuing to do work across the city. High quality services remains a priority for our office and the city as a whole, and of course for our residents. As we all know, for a long time, our city has really struggled to complete the routes related to trash removal, refuse removal. Dumpsters have been overflowing for many years now. This is a big part of the problem has been that we haven't been paying our refuse workers enough. We know our refuse workers are very, very hard workers, working very, very hard. And they are, by large means, underpaid. We know that. And in an effort to address some of that pay gap, we have been listening to our refuse workers and many members of the Board of Aldermen who've been uplifting their services and need for additional pay here. And we have created an incentive pay program along with our personnel department. This is for our refuse driver operators. This is a program that will allow them to earn extra pay for completing extra routes. The basics of the program enable our refuse workers to earn an additional $75 a day for completing an extra route after their first route is completed. To give you an idea of what this can translate to in additional pay, if a driver were to do this additional work every day, 5 days a week, all year round, this would be an extra $19,500 in pay. Plus, they would be making an additional hourly wage and overtime above their 40 hours a week. So they could really be making an additional $19,500 to $39,000 a year. So we feel that this is a strong incentive program to not only complete routes as assigned, but to do that additional route clearance. We look forward to our refuse workers. We're hearing great feedback, taking advantage of this program, getting paid extra wages, and getting more refuse, getting more trash out of our community. We also did, in fact, do some additional work over the weekend. We talked about expanding our recycling drop sites as an effort to improve reliable recycling. As you all know, we officially ended the alley recycling program, recognizing that the majority of waste that was being put in our blue dumpsters was, in fact, not being recycled. It was rejected at the recycling plants due to contamination. And so the expansion of our drop sites, the recycling drop sites, is an effort to expand the recycling matter that is being reliably recycled. We know the majority of the separated and dropped off waste is actually pretty high quality, is not rejected at the recycling plants, is actually getting recycled. And so we're expanding that program. Our refuse workers worked overtime. We had promised to expand those drop sites by 50%. Well, I have good news. We expanded it by 60% over the weekend. The 19 of the 25 drop sites that we already had in place received extra dumpsters over the weekend, and we expanded from 25 to 40 locations across the city in just the last 16 days. I want to thank the Board of Aldermen for helping to identify those spots, working with community to ensure that those were not only good spots for the community, but good spots, to really have diverse geographic locations across the city. So we'll be continuing to expand that, monitoring their use, monitoring their effectiveness, and expanding as needed. So just a real a great positive for, in some ways, for reliable recycling throughout our city. I'm proud of our refuse division for getting that done over the weekend, and grateful to their work over the weekend to do that. And look forward to hopefully seeing some higher paid refuse workers through this incentive program here soon.